Good evening, guys. It's Wednesday evening. We've got 2 people on board so far. Welcome to A Road and a Song. This is episode 5. Show about songs, about writing, about creativity, about exorcising the demons. Very happy to say that I've got a very talented Mr. Dave Prater with us this evening. Evening, Tricia. I'm going to kick off with a song. This is called Northern Winds. I've been sitting daydreaming at the edge of the world. I'm waiting for something to happen. And the tide will come in, and the tide will go out. Still I'm waiting for something to happen. For whatever must be done without asking. And the winds of change may be coming in from the north. And a call to arms should never be ignored. When the storm comes in for me, my dear, you'll find me by the lighthouse at the end of the pier. And whether this ship I'm sailing may be sinking is just your matter of opinion. For whoever may know which way the wind blows, it's still a matter of opinion. For it is I who will always be my own captain. And the winds of change may be coming in from the north. And a call to arms should never be ignored. When the storm comes in for me, my dear, you'll find me by the lighthouse at the end of the pier. And the winds will take me where they please. Only I can steer myself to where I need to be. And the winds of change may be coming in from the north. And a call to arms could never be ignored. When the storm comes in for me, my dear, you'll find me by the lighthouse at the end of the pier. When the storm comes in for me, my dear, will you meet me by the lighthouse at the end of the pier? Thank you very much, guys. That was a song called The Northern Winds. That's from my second album, This Is How It Feels, from a couple of years ago. Evening, everybody. Evening, Hooper, who's sat in the next room. Evening, my mum. And Dad. Longfords. So, in the spirit of the show, that's a song that's got a very definite story. I was going through a very sort of life-changing time, leaving a career that I'd been in for about 15 years on the railway, and I had free train travel, so I thought, where can I go? I went to Berwick-upon-Tweed on the train. It was December, I think. It was freezing. I took a guitar, went and sat on the beach, and as I, frequently do, and I thought, I'm not coming away with that song, so sat on the beach until some strike of lightning hit me in the head, and it just came out of that, really. That seemed to go with the waves. Dad, you've called him Hopper. Yes, that's a song that's got a very definite place for where that came from, and it kind of is about embracing change. Change is a good thing, whether it feels like it is or not. And often the things that change, that you think are for the worst, can be for the best. So the guest on my show this evening is Mr. Dave Prater. I think most of you in the comments will have seen Dave at some point, live streaming and whatnot. I don't know if many of you might have seen him live before. Dave is someone I got to know through lockdown, probably through Facebook. We travelled in similar circles beforehand, but I don't think we'd ever met until one day I dropped a USB stick off at his house by surprise at his door. So, ladies and gents, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Dave Prater.
Unborn, holding out my hand. It was early morning at the break of poison of intention disappear in a breeze, and you say you don't know, never wanted any of it all. Second time lucky, got you to myself. Second time lucky, looks like we found another way.
Evening, sir.
Hello.
Are we coming through loud and clear?
I can hear you and I can hear myself.
Is there a bit of a lag there? Is there a bit of a lag there?
I got you, I think. Let's try and have a conversation, see how it goes.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Pause. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Do you know what? I don't think we had that lag in sound check, did we?
No.
Gremlins in the StreamYard system.
It sometimes settles down, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and I think it will do. I think it's the probably the internet speed on my end. I think I've got hamsters in wheels in my internet router. So. How the devil are you anyway?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling, look, it's not good to start with a moan, is it? But I'm feeling a little bit groggy today. I feel like I've got a bit of hay fever or something like that.
You probably have, man, because I think I feel the same. It's and my son Hooper's been sneezing his head off all day, so you're probably right there. I think it's this time of year, isn't it? The weather's changing to a few nice days. We get all the bees are out.
Yeah. But other than that, you know, yeah, can't complain too much really. Ticking along okay, I think.
So, like I said before, we'd actually never met before lockdown, the first lockdown. But I noticed, having a look at some of your gigs, we've played, you know, similar gigs before. I mean, you used to play quite a bit at the British Oak in Tingley.
Yeah, it's a great pub.
Yeah. I used to play there quite a lot with my band, Start, and then Atlantic Sound after that, covers band, you know. But I always used to see your name, and I thought, who's Dave Prater? And then I think we got talking on Facebook or something like that, haven't we? And then all this stuff, and you kindly bought something off my Kickstarter campaign for the album. And I just turned up at your doorstep one day with you.
Yeah, you did. There's a funny story about that. I don't know whether to tell you or not. But I've kind of got to tell you now. But don't worry about where this is going, because I know it's a family show. But yeah, you caught me a little bit off guard. I was just getting changed, and I was just putting my trousers back on. Again, remember, family show. Don't worry, it's not going to get too blue. And I was just struggling. I thought, I'll just be a delivery guy or something. I'll just open the door a crack. And then it was you, and I kind of thought, it's like chance to meet.
Hello.
And stuff, but I was kind of holding my trousers up with the other hand. So if I was a little bit awkward, even more awkward than I usually am, that was why.
Do you know what? I didn't notice, but that is a very carry-on thing, isn't it? Like
it is, yeah.
You could have answered the door and gone, "Oh, hello," and then your trousers might have just fallen.
Yeah. That would have been quite an introduction, wouldn't it?
As first impressions go.
Yeah, but no, it's coming back to what you were saying. Yeah, I think we were doing a similar kind of circuit. Yeah, some of the same pubs, and doing, as you know, I mainly sort of put myself out there as a covers act, really. Certainly prior to pandemic. So yeah.
Well, yeah, the same. Yeah, I got to the point where I was playing more and more originals because I just didn't give people a choice. But because I think sometimes you got to do that, haven't you? But yeah, it just goes to show that there's so many like-minded people out there that never got to see each other, because you're always gigging. Like, there'd be a Friday, Saturday night, and where you would normally get to socialise, you'd each be at different gigs, and you'd be working at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So that's been good. You know, it's been good to sort of collaborate. And coming out of this, you know, we've started a little collaboration between us too, haven't we? You very kindly played bass on All We Need Is a Road as well, which was awesome. And coincidentally, that's my highest played song on Spotify, so that's got to be something to do with you.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but I had noticed. And I'd really, but that's great. Yeah.
You know, between you and Tricia, I think you're both on that track. So
I'll let Tricia take this. Tricia can take the credit. You might get a little bit as well, Jackson.
So, have you got some lovely original songs for us this evening?
Yeah, so I've got a few things lined up to play. A couple of old ones and a brand spanking new one that's not even really finished, but I'm going to attempt to play that one.
Brilliant, because I've also got a brand spanking new one that no one's ever heard before as well. Yeah. Right, well, I'm going to let you kick off with the first song, if you fancy that.
Yep, okay, great.
Right, ladies and gents, Mr. Dave Prater.
Okay, good evening, guys. So this is a song called Save Your Heartbreak. It's one I wrote a couple of years ago. I wrote it after a night on the gin, feeling a bit sorry for myself, so that's the kind of vibe. I wrote this down to try and prove I was happy. It broke my heart as the words fell on this page. So take this from me, it's not a choice, I can't avoid it. My friend, please stay with me, I want this to be heard. So be it one or change this tune. Find out the truth, or the truth may come to you. Bridge that promise you make to yourself. I can't help you if I can't help myself. So save your heartbreak for someone who cares. say fortune favors the brave or he who dares. Save your heartbreak, it's only yours to share. But I confess I can't contain the loss when you're not there. Some things feel right and that can give you hope to see. But every road I go down, there's nothing there for me. Strike a match, light a switch for me to heal. I can only get so far and it breaks, that's how I feel. I wish that I could just be like you. Maybe you would all like me just the same. I'll keep that promise, but I mean it in haste. So far, so bad, there's only chances that I'll waste. So save your heartbreak for someone who cares. They say fortune favors the brave or she who dares. Save your heartbreak, it's only yours to share. But I confess I can't contain the loss when you're not there. Save your heartbreak for someone who cares. They say fortune favors the brave or he who dares. Save your heartbreak, it's only yours to share. But I confess I can't contain the loss when you're not there.
Woohoo! First one out of the bag.
Cheers.
That was awesome, Dave. What was the title of that one?
So that was called Save Your Heartbreak.
Save Your Heartbreak. I was stuck in the lyrics of that. There's some absolute knockout lyrics in that one, man.
I'm just losing you. I'm just losing you a bit, mate. So I didn't get that.
I said there's some absolute knockout lyrics in that one. I really like that one.
Thanks. I heard the words "really like" somewhere in there, so I'm going to take that as a good thing.
That's the only one you need. It's the only one you need. Not that you need my seal of approval, man. It's it's been nice to sort of get to know. This week I've been listening to quite a lot of the music of yours that I can find out there, and because I'm not overly familiar with it, other than you asked me to sing some backing vocals on a song quite a while ago, actually, which was that's one of my favourites. That's definitely up there in one of my playlists. It's cracking little song.
Cool.
So,
thank you.
What makes you tick musically? Like, where does your music come from? Give us a little background story of Dave Prater and the music scene.
So I started playing guitar when I was about 15 or 16, and got into again, I think maybe similar to yourself in some respects. So like Oasis were a big thing for me, and kind of Indian Britpop sort of scene. So that was what inspired me to start playing guitar. I was quite into like the grunge stuff as well. So got into that, joined my first bands around that age, playing in pubs when I was youngish, and then I actually went on to do music at uni. Did a music course at university, so that opened my eyes to all kinds of different genres and things, and then
attitudes, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely. No, it was good. It was a good course, and lots of the people who were on my course have gone on to wonderful things and become rock stars and stuff like that. Moving on to more recent, I kind of I always kept it with me. I was always sort of dipping in and out and in bands, but it was more in the background a little bit. And then I guess probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I got back on it properly, joined a covers band with some old friends, so got on the sort of cover scene through a 3-piece covers band. And then, I hate to use the term, but I can't think of a better one, went solo about like three years ago or something.
Screw you guys, I'm going solo.
yeah, that's exactly what I said. And then just always
said it more than once myself.
Yeah, and then over that period, like just treading that balance really. Mainly, to be honest, gigging, mainly playing covers live, but also keeping the songwriting and kind of developing my songwriting in the background. So that's kind of a bit of a potted history, I guess.
So, was songwriting something that came very naturally to you, or did you just sort of think, oh, I better write some songs, what do I do here, kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it came fairly naturally to me from that, right back to that point when I was 15, 16, just learnt the basic chords, and in a way all I ever really wanted to do was, even though I've done a bit beyond that, was play chords well enough to sing and write songs. So yeah, it came fairly easily. I've written a lot of songs, which I don't know, it might surprise you, because I kind of don't. I don't share a lot. I need to share more of my songs, but I'm kind of I've written a lot of stuff that's just.
Well, in that case, we're all waiting for the Dave Prater double album.
yeah, it'll come one day.
Double vinyl.
But yeah, I'm quite. It's like therapy as well, So I do it for different reasons. I hope I write stuff that I want to perform, but also it's just when you get in this room, shut the door, write some songs. It's the best therapy out there, isn't it? Sometimes.
I can't agree with you more on that, man. It's saved my life on no matter of how many occasions, It's just something that you can. Don't matter what's going on in here. There's always something that comes out the end of your fingers or your mouth, and it's just I think you refine that process as well over time, and it helps you become more in tune with what you're thinking. I think as well. Not that I really understand what's going around in this coconut, but
yeah,
I'm an interesting bunch of people sometimes.
yeah.
I always think as regards to approaching songwriting, I always think that I was watching an interview with Paul McCartney, I think, and he was saying, the Beatles in the early days, we played X, Y, and Z on the bill with 4 or 5 other bands, and all these 4 or 5, if you played later on the bill, which is what you strove for, you wanted to be the last to play, and all these other bands would end up then playing all the songs that you were about. Oh, we were going to play that one. Oh, we were going to play that one, because there weren't that many songs around in the late 50s, early 60s, and the people out there wanted to hear this hit and that hit, and the first band had probably played all the same songs that all the other bands were doing. So they thought, right, well, how can we make ourselves stand out? Well, let's write our own songs. And I think that's like that was like the big turning point with any artists writing their own songs, really, because before, it was just used to be like people sat in a room with a piano churning out on a factory belt, songs for people, and that's really stuck with me, because I thought, you go to gigs, and much like yourself, we've probably got your staple songs that everybody wants to hear. Someone always says, "Oh, can you play Wonderwall?" And everybody goes, "Oh," like that. I don't mean that in a snobbish way, because that's what I grew up playing. I grew up playing Wonderwall, and I was that shy I wouldn't sing it. That got my mum to sing it along with me. I might add. she's in the comments. She'll corroborate that story. But it's just that there are so many people that play songs that way, and everybody plays it the same, and I get so bored with the same old stuff all the time, to the fact where I'm playing songs. I don't know about yourself, sometimes I got to the point before lockdown, I was doing so many gigs, I was playing songs, and I might as well have written a shopping list in my head while I was playing it, because it was just autopilot,
Yeah.
And fair enough, it's an entertainment thing, and that's what people want to hear, but sometimes you just get a bit bored, don't you? And that's where my focus drops, and I feel a bit let down in myself.
I think that rings true for me, I think, to an extent, but also I think it depends on a lot of things as well for me. It depends on what mindset you're in on that day, what your audience is like. Are you playing to one man and his dog who don't care less, or is it someone who's like, oh my God, you're playing Wonderwall, this is the best day ever, kind of thing? It's like, that's never happened actually, but
that is that man with his dog.
Yeah.
That's the dog.
Yeah.
So you start them chords and the dog goes.
Yeah.
Now here's one you've never heard. Do you know? Everybody that I know musically does that, and they go, "Oh, Wonderwall, really? No, I don't play that." Yeah. But if someone really wanted it, I would play it. Of course, I would, because that'd just be an arsehole if I didn't, you know.
I think I'm pretty sure I've requested it at one of your live streams before, just to tackle you.
You did. I'm pretty sure I told you to piss off, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I'm in the safety of my own walls now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If you're in front of a load of beard up Oasis fans,
yeah, it's not
easy. A different story, you know. I think we've all been at that gig where we've been cornered, and I've actually had someone at a gig, and you know, you get those people, don't you? That will you play so and so, and if you don't actually know the song, you can't play it, can you?
No.
And and they go, you do. You know, I don't know it, mate. Yeah, you do, and you're going to play it.
Yeah. Or try and hum it.
And you just think,
or...
okay, I'll try.
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
I don't fancy that beer bottle down my neck, so yeah, go for it. I'll have a go. I think that's pretty much why I can always kind of have a rough go at songs, you know, and something will come out if I can sort of hum the words or whatever. Yeah,
you kind of get there, don't you, where you can have a go at it.
Half of the time, if they know the words, get them up to sing it and just go.
Yeah, you can get away with it. Certainly at 10:30, you know, in a busy pub where everyone's drunk.
I do think all these experiences of gigging do shape the way that you come out creatively, I think, as well. Do you have like any set routines or anything for writing? Like, do you find that it's easier if you're playing more live, or if you're playing live? Because some people I know that, you know, if they're playing live less, they've got more time to write and they sit down and actively try to write. But, you know, how does that work for you?
I've definitely written more during lockdown, and I think that was partly due to because I wasn't on that cycle of, you know, gigging every Friday or Saturday, and there was just a bit more space, and also because I think, like a lot of people, that all the emotions that the pandemic stirred up. Not that I've sat down and wrote songs specifically about the pandemic, but they've taken my mind to a certain place where the creative juices have come out a bit more.
Yeah, most certainly, yeah.
Yeah, but it varies for me in terms of the actual like, I don't know if that's what you were getting at, but with the actual process, I kind of you know, you often get asked, do you write the music first or do you write the lyrics first? And I guess it varies, but like that one I played first, that all kind of came out together, and I wrote that, just sat down and wrote it all in one go. The next one I'm going to play, I kind of started off with a chord progression and just, you know, then found some words that worked around it. But yeah, it varies, mix it up really in terms of how I approach it. Yeah,
that's I think, you know, and the variation as well. If you did it the same every time, it'd just become another thing, wouldn't it? That you know, was just, oh yeah, that's what it is, and you know, I'll sit down and this is how it'll happen, kind of thing. And you know, it'd become very predictable, I think, when you do the same things over and over again. And I get to the point where I run out of chords, and I'm just like, oh no, I've the last 5 songs I've written have been in G. Or you know, or there's only so many times you can go from that D to there's only so many times you can go.
But there is something that makes a difference on that for me. I was talking to Matt Dunwell about this actually, though, is when you put new strings on your guitar, especially if it's a bit overdue, all of a sudden it's like everything sounds like magic. You're like, oh my god, it's a G chord. Like, yeah, well, that's demonstrated. Yeah, it's like G chord.
That was really slick, that, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, a G chord. It just sounds amazing. So that's kind of what I did on this next one I'm going to play. Actually, I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. It's a G chord, like I've never heard it before. But funnily enough, the other way around at the moment, because the strings on this are an absolute disgrace.
It's funny you should say that, because I've just this afternoon put new strings on this guitar, and I've had the set on beforehand. I've had on since December, and you know, before in the gigging world, I used to restring it every 2 gigs.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't like gigging on guitars that feel like old rubber bands.
No.
And I think it makes you. It's the extra sonic clarity, I think, that gives you a bit more of a push to say, oh, that's nice, you know, I'm a bit more interested now.
Yeah, it just lifts it, doesn't it? And you don't realise how bad the old ones were till you get the new ones on.
Absolutely, yeah. I think on that note, you're talking about the next song you're going to play. Do you want to give us another song?
Yeah, sure.
What's this one called?
So this one is called Second Time Lucky.
Oof,
this is the
one. This one.
This is the one that you kindly did some backing vocals on for me, so thank you again for
I know,
that.
I was chuffed about that. I was really chuffed about that, because no one ever asked me to do things like that, so...
I'll ask you again then.
More than happy anytime. Right, ladies and gents, second song from Mr. Dave Prater.
Okay, so yeah, this one's called Second Time Lucky. It's kind of about... I wanted to write something upbeat, because I found I was writing a lot of sort of sad songs, so I wanted this one to be a bit more upbeat, and lyrically it's kind of about... well, it's not kind of, it's definitely about having a second chance in a relationship with someone and trying to make the best of that. Show me where the skyline goes, I remember you so well. Burn down beyond those heights with ice so right inside I fell. Second time lucky, got you to myself. Second time lucky, looks like we found another way. All the times I made things worse, I reached out when I could have stayed. So many ways to me it's clear you deserve it all, and I see that now. Second time lucky, got you to myself. Second time lucky, looks like we found another way. Time lucky, got you to myself. Second time lucky, looks like we found another way. Second time lucky, got you to myself. Second time lucky, found another way.
Hey, another one.
Thank you.
I absolutely love that song. I absolutely love it.
Thank you very much. It's doing that just it's doing that thing again where it's going a bit crazy, so I can't hear you at the minute.
Well,
it's like whirring. It's like a helicopter.
Oh, really? Is that going that?
You're doing that deliberately now.
Yeah,
it settled down after a minute. It settled down after a minute last time. Oh, you're back. You're back, I think.
I'm back.
I can hear you now. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's, you know, when I've been doing these shows, I tend to sort of put who the guest I'm going to have on. I put the music on, you know, over the week just to sort of get a bit more familiar with people, and that's definitely the song that sticks in my head. You know, not just because you know I'm on it with you somewhere. You know, that'd be a very egotistical thing to say, but it's got a very kind of catchy, and it's a nice kind of bouncy. It's kind of a summer track, I think. Yeah,
that's what I wanted to make. So I'm pleased you said that. Yeah, released it in the summer and wanted it to be that upbeat kind of summery thing.
I think when I first heard it, and I think I said to you, it reminds me of a track by Paul Weller called "Going Nowhere" from the Heavy Soul album.
I remember you saying that.
It's probably my favourite album of all time. That one, for one reason and another, you know. But it's more the bass on it. You know, there's a boom, 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 boom. The bass brings out the melody. I think, you know, it's kind of
it does. Yeah, he did it. It's Eddie Hines who did the bass on that. He really brought a new flavour to it. When I got it back with that on, I was like, yeah, that's really brought something different.
Definitely.
And, yeah.
I think I might need to get a contact off you there.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I highly recommend him. Yeah, he's played on some of my other stuff as well.
Do you think that, you know, collaborating with other musicians and giving the do you write? I take it that you probably do the same thing as me, write songs on an acoustic guitar or like a piano, as we've both got in the background. But you play it, I don't. Do you find it takes on a new lease of life when someone else adds an interpretation of something on it? You know.
Yeah, definitely, it definitely does. Really brings, like I say, that was a good example with that bass line, where it's like that. Yeah, that's really enhanced and improved and taken in a direction that I wouldn't, because I do play bass as well, as you know, but I wouldn't have played that on it. So it definitely enriches it, and I've opened my horizons to doing that a bit more. And it just feels good as well, like, to get other people invested in it and interested in it, and that it's like a virtuous circle, because it kind of fuels you a bit more, like, oh, they're getting into it, and then I write a new part that bounces off their part or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Evening Matt, Assembly Point, has just joined the stream.
Oh, hello, Matt.
Speaking of working with people, yeah. You know, it's the directions that I necessarily wouldn't have gone anywhere near in my songs, even though they do sound a lot like what was in my head. You know, I don't have the technical ability to know that if you put this underlying in the mix somewhere, it'll make it sound like this. And you know, that's been a very, you know, awesome experience of bringing out different aspects and different little melodies and stuff like that were not there before, and it turns a song into something much more than it would have. It's like that whole saying of greater than the sum of its parts kind of thing, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, that's right.
I think a good song or a good band or good anything should be, you know, greater than the sum of its parts.
Definitely, and it's the sum of its parts. Like, it comes down to the production, but also I think, you know, you need to have it in mind when songwriting, and like say the stuff that the likes of Matt Dunwell can help with. Like, it's not about just piling stuff on, is it? Or guitar, bass, drum. No. It's about each thing, like you were saying, playing its part and all that. It sounds obvious as you say it, but I think it took me a while to get that it's not just stacking stuff up. It's like...
No, I mean, you know, being left to my own devices, my songs would sound very different, you know. And they probably would have been just guitar, drums, bass, and everything would be on top of each other. And because I just don't understand that world, you know. But... you know, I think production in itself is an instrument just as much as guitar is or bass is or whatever, you know, because it really does start to define a song, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, you know, I put out an album in 2018 that was just literally just me with an acoustic guitar in front of a mic, which is, you know, I'm proud of what I did, but, you know, the whole thing took 4 hours to record. I think it was out, you know, mixed and mastered that night and out the next day.
I like that. I like the album.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Is that the one that's got? Is that the one that's got "Never Grow Old" on?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that one. I like all of it for that. Yeah. I'm planning on. I was thinking about doing a cover of that sometime because I really like that one. Yeah.
Oh, well,
it's on the list.
Yeah. I'd love to hear that.
Do I have to pay you or something? I don't know.
No. Do you know what? This is a verbal contract.
Yeah.
Feel free. That would be. I'd love to hear that actually. It's always very strange when you hear someone playing your songs. And you know, has anyone? Do you know what? I've tried to have a go at Second Time Lucky, and I can't get the chords that you're playing. I don't know what you do. I'm like,
that's near enough.
But yeah, it's a strange experience hearing someone play your song. I think I've heard a couple of. Someone sent me a while back a cover of "Except for Blue."
Oh yeah,
one of my songs, and no, it was great. I was like, whoa, hang on a minute, that's that's my song. Because it was just someone I've never met. He just sent me this. Oh, just I had to go at this the other day. I thought you might like it, and I was like, No way, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
It was just somebody on an acoustic guitar, but you know, it was a nice little boy up experience of just hearing it in a different light, you know, because I'm not good at hearing my own songs.
No,
because I think they're a very cathartic experience for me, and I like to just, once it's pushed out into the world, it's kind of like, you know, and a lot of them come from quite painful experiences and stuff like that, and you know, as much as I love them and they're my children, and you know, not my real children, they're sat in opposite rooms of the house right now, but figurative children, you know, I'm not a big one for that really, but
no, it's good. Like
go on.
I was just going to say the fact that, you know, that person had been inspired, that your song had touched them to the point where they'd done it. That must mean a lot, you know. Oh,
it was awesome. Yeah, it felt great, you know, and to the point where someone wanted me to do a tab for it, you know, for Ultimate Guitar or whatever. So that's cool. I mean, I wouldn't know where to start really. I'd just be like, although for that song, I do remember having to sit there for hours just going.
Yeah, I know that bit.
For about an hour, and it was the most boring thing in the whole world, but it sounds great. So
yeah.
So I'm going to play another song now. I've got 2 brand new songs over the last week. So I played one of them last week on my live stream. So I'm going to play them both today. So a bit more of exclusive content. These are not going to be on the album because they're too new. They're going to be on the next whatever I do. I've been getting into the whole subject of just how messed up the world is lately. You know, about you know, the everybody is chasing money, and it is the one and only cause of every knock-on cause of every problem going. I think, you know, that and religion. You know, it's. I don't want to get on into the soapbox because I'm just not going to do that. That's not what this show's about. But you know, I'm going to get on a musical soapbox. So this is a song called "Money Go Round." So easy to get caught up in all the tension. It's so easy to get lost in the eye of the storm. It's so easy to pretend that you're not helpless. I think we've all been there once or twice before. It's the way of things, that's how it is. You're born, you live and you die. Watching the wheels spin, they'll tell you it's your only purpose in life, till you're out of time. Watching the money go round, the money go round, from the moment you wake till the sun goes down. The money goes round. You see your darkness out on the edge of town. You hope that things will get better, but it's too much to take the pain. Embrace that way of living till you're numb to all the pain. Till the money goes round, and tomorrow you'll do the same. I get the feeling I don't know where I'm going. I get the feeling I don't care much anyhow. I get the feeling there's a lot that we're not seeing. Much more than a system, more than a country, more than a county or a town. Watching the money go round, the money go round, from the moment you wake till the sun goes down. The money goes round. town. You hope that things will get better, but it's too hard to see the change. You embrace that way of living till you're numb to all the pain. You watch the money go round, but tomorrow you do the same. If you can see the change, will you do the same? If you can be the change. It's the way of things, that's how it is. You're born, you live and you die. Watching the wheels spin, they'll tell you it's the only purpose in life until you're out of time. Watching the money go round, the money go round, from the moment you wake till the sun goes down. The money goes round. Feel the darkness out on the edge of town. You hope that things will get better, but it's hard to see the change. You embrace that way of living till you're numb to all the pain. Watch the money go round, and tomorrow you do the same. Well, you do the same. Well, you do the same. Thank you very much.
Bravo.
Thanks.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, that was a song called "The Money Go Round." It's not. I don't know if it's completely there yet, but
I like that.
I've given myself a little challenge of writing at least one song every couple of weeks, just for the live streams. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, you know, it's a good healthy way of going. Whew.
No, it's great. I can see that. I can see that. So that's going to be a while before that's out. You said so that's going to be
that'll be
on the
ages,
one
that,
after.
because,
yeah,
it's going to be
penciling for 2023.
Yeah, or if I've got my way, you know, again this year sometime.
On my time scale, it'd be 2023.
Yeah. Yeah. So that song came out of reading a book about the sort of an exposing global banking practices and stuff like that. You know, how we all, you know, it's not the way that you think it is, and we all become slaves to the pound, the dollar, whatever, you know, and that takes over your life, and you base everything in your life on earning a dollar, earning a living, and you know what would happen if we just got rid of money completely? It's going deep. It's going deep.
These are big. I've got no answers for you. They're big questions.
Tricia says, I find it very interesting when musicians talk songs. Great job, Dave.
Thank you.
I've put up my screen there. Look at that.
Good chat. So what's happening? What's happening with Safe Haven then? You still it's still going, I assume.
You know,
you got some gigs booked.
Well, once we can actually get out gigging, you know,
yeah.
It's going to be awesome. You know.
Yeah.
The second lockdown really didn't sort of help.
No.
Because it's kind of slowed down. We sort of got a bit of pace going, and we've had to sort of scale that back a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be great once we can actually get out into the real world and do the things that we like to do, you know.
Yeah, good stuff.
So, have you got anything coming up musically that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, so I've got some new stuff coming out. So I've sort of recorded a lot of stuff over the lockdowns, a lot of original material. Like I was saying before, I think, and reflecting back on it, a lot of it probably was just a form of therapy and an outlet to do stuff. But a few songs have certainly turned into something that I think I'd like to release. I'm just finalising a few few tracks. It's got a bit of a different feel, actually. So it's a bit more, like you were saying earlier, generally I write songs by strumming the guitar and writing it that way. These ones are a little bit different in feel, a little bit more electronic. That that sounded really tragic, like an old man, like these electronic music. But it's
going, like, what's his name? Who left the lid off the margarine?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know.
John Shuttleworth.
Yeah.
The little Casio keyboard.
Yeah. But
Ross from Friends.
Yeah. But it's good. But I'm not actually playing any of those tonight because they're a little bit tricky to do justice to just on the guitar because of the way I wrote them. But so there's that coming out, and then I'm going to be doing possibly a 3-track EP out of that. But then similar to yourself, I'm also looking on to the next project, and I've just started working with Matt Dunwell at Assembly Point, who's currently working on one of my songs with view to doing a broader sort of project out of it, and that's actually the next one I'm going to play. Brilliant. Is from that set.
I'm sure that's going to be awesome. The man's a genius.
He is.
So, do you want to give us that your next song then?
Yeah, sure.
Are you changing guitar for this one?
I've swapped it while you were playing.
Oh, did you? Right.
Yeah. So hopefully
that goes how much. That just shows how much I take notice. Right, ladies and gents, Mr. Dave Prater with third song of the evening.
Okay, yeah, so brand new song. It's not actually really finished yet, so but it's kind of maybe 2/3 of the way there. So hope you like it. Reaching around the path we started, haunted by desire, a flame cold hearted. I find my peace in the things I hold so near. Underneath this somewhere the truth, my dear. So hold it in or breathe it out. But darling, there's no need to shout. You've won me round, now take your crown, my darling. There's no need to shout. Clean forgotten why we parted, tantamount to grief in a land uncharted. In between these moments I find my grip. Show me love, hand in grip for the ride. So hold it in or breathe it out. But darling, there's no need to shout. You've won me round, now take your crown, my darling. There's no need to shout. So hold it in or breathe it out. But darling, there's no need to shout. You've won me round, now take your crown, my darling. There's no need to shout. So hold it in or breathe it out. But darling, there's no need to shout. Cheers. You're on mute, mate.
Is that better?
You're on mute and now I can't hear you because it's doing the helicopter thing.
Whip, 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 whip. Are we back? No.
It normally just takes a few seconds to settle down.
Are Are we back in the room?
Here we go, we're back. Yeah, I can hear you.
3, 2, 1, you're back in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are you playing in a different tune in there?
Just lost it. Just ask me that again, mate, sorry.
Are you playing in a different tune in there?
Yeah, I think you're asking about tuning. Yes, it's an open tuning, yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, I can't hear you very well, but yeah, it's in a if that's what you're asking, yeah, it's in an open tuning. So I think it's in an open B, because I generally play with my guitar always tuned down a full step, so it's in D generally, and then I started tuning down into an open position. But because I was starting from that low position, it's actually I think it's an open B tuning, so it's quite low.
That's another thing. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah. That's another thing that I think shapes, writing sometimes. I don't do a lot in other tunings other than slight. Sometimes I do drop D, but I don't do much in tunes because I'm a bit lazy and I don't want to have to swap guitars. But
yeah.
Every time I pick up a guitar that's in a different tuning, I end up writing something. I think you hear different sonic, even if it's the same chord or whatever, it sounds different. So it's something pops out in your mind, and that's a nice thing to.
Yeah, definitely.
I just don't think I could be that guy unless I had 12 guitars ready to go. I don't think I could be. I won't want to tune in and out. I mean, drop D's easy because you just do it, you're there, aren't you? But
yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I am quite, aside from the fact that I'm like one of the most hyperactive people in the whole world ever, I'm actually also probably one of the most lazy musicians as well.
I find that hard to believe, actually. But,
I like to pick up a guitar, and play a few chords, and I'm definitely a strummer rather than I'm no shredder or anything. Michael Davis, nice one, Alistair and Dave. I'm proper enjoying the show tonight, guys. The chat's extremely interesting, and the songs have been absolutely brilliant all night. Well, how about that?
Oh, thank you, Michael. What a legend Michael is as well. So Michael's another person I've met virtually through the pandemic, and hope to meet him in person and buy him a beer or two when we can.
Most definitely, yeah, definitely. It's been very strange, the people that have sort of gravitated towards my circle of music. Anyway, I'm sure it's probably the same for yourself. Who keep coming into there are some genuine supporters of music out there, aren't there?
Yeah, definitely.
And it always makes me smile when I put something out there and people like it, and it's easy to sort of fall in the trap of being a bit of an egomaniac sometimes when it is for me anyway. I'm like, you better like that. but it's not like that. I mean, I do joke when I say things like that, but it just luckily for me that people seem to be liking it. So
they are, yeah.
It ticks that box for me. I can sleep at night now. Right, well, thanks very much for being on the show tonight, Dave. I really appreciate it. It took us a while to get you in, didn't it? Because you were actually one of the first people I approached to be on the show, and the dates just filled up, and they were like, "Oh, well, I'll have this date," and it's been, and I was half expecting. I was like, "Oh, I wonder, I hope he's has he remembered it because it's ages away."
No, thanks for having me on. I've really enjoyed it, and it's good to get out there. And I was really interested to do it because the whole theme of the show appeals to me and gives me a chance to play some of my own stuff. And
definitely.
I know I bang on about it all the time. Oh, should I be playing covers? Should I be playing originals? Kind of, I haven't got a choice on this show, have you?
That's it. You do it my way, son.
Yeah.
No, do you know, it's been really nice to hear your original songs. I'll definitely be carrying on listening on Spotify, and other platforms are available. Have you got any releases in the pipeline that are waiting to come out?
So yeah, I've got a couple of things. Yeah, those I mentioned earlier. There's possibly an EP coming out soon. Well, which is kind of what bits and bobs I've worked on over lockdown that I've compiled into a release. But beyond that, it's the project with Matt. So I've got that. That'll kind of be my year, probably getting those two releases out over the course of the next 6 to 12 months, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I have put in the description of this video at YouTube. Links to Dave's Facebook page, YouTube channel, Spotify. Go follow him, subscribe to him, everything. Support the music, because the music will support you back. I like that. I need to come up with a snappier thing for that, but I like that idea of it all makes a difference, doesn't it? It certainly does to me anyway. It spurs me on to keep making more content and stuff like that. So if you're watching tonight, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's fine if you don't like it. I'm not precious. But yeah, let's show some love, please, in the comments for Mr. Dave Prater. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to play us out with a song, and thank you once again, Dave. Stay in the backstage area, and we'll have a little chat afterwards. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you again, mate. That might be my cue to leave. So yeah, thank you.
Once again, guys, thanks very much for joining tonight. It's been a pleasure again. Thanks for showing Dave some love. Go into the bio of this video and you'll find Dave's Facebook page, YouTube channel, and links to Spotify and things like that. It would all be a massive help, thanks. If you were here last Wednesday, you know that I'll be doing another stream next Wednesday, just myself. And then in 2 weeks from now, we'll have number 6 of A Road and a Song. And that is going to be Mr. Michael Liam Sullivan. Sorry, Liam, if you're watching. You're not called Michael. That's you, Michael Davies. That's because I just read a comment from you and I got that wrong. All right. I've not learnt yet not to read the comments when I'm talking. I'm like Ron Burgundy. If you put it on the teleprompter, I will read it. Right, I'm going to play you out with a song that's brand new. It's about 4 days old. So this is called Travelling On. In this land of make-believe, the man with half a story can be king. Empty pockets and a heart of gold will take you places that you can only dream. You can walk a mile but never find your feet. You can look out on the world but never see. So pull up a chair and take your seat around the table. Tell us a tale of something you've lost and something you've loved. You don't have to worry about where you've been or where you're going. Round here, you're not the only one. Around here, everyone keeps traveling on. In the cold light of day, I'm not afraid to cut my losses and be gone. When the new sun rises, I will return into the dirt from where I sprang. You can walk a mile but never find your feet. You can look out on the world but never see. So pull up a chair and take your seat around the table. Tell us a tale of something you've lost and something you loved. You don't have to worry about where you've been or where you're going. 'Cause round here, you're not the only one. Around here, everyone keeps traveling on. Traveling on to a place that feels like home. Traveling on traveling on. Round here, everyone keeps traveling home. Thank you very much. That was a brand new song. That's called Traveling On. Hopefully you'll hear a bit more of that in the coming weeks. It's definitely one I'm working on at the moment anyway. Again, it's not going to be on any close project. It's going to be quite a long way down the line. But thank you once again for joining the show tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks' time. You'll see me again next week if you're in for it. 8 o'clock Wednesday. I'll be singing a few original songs, a few covers if you want to request some. Making funny faces and doing silly moves and stuff, because that's what I do. Right, guys, thanks very much.